Thank
So,
you.
all in all, from the beginning where you're talking to animals, and when you start working professionally, talking to animals and plants, and teaching people and guiding people in their path, do you think it changed you? Did it change your life from when you were just a veterinarian to when you really put yourself into it and gave yourself to your guiding spirits? Did it change your
Ah,
life?
yeah, it changed completely. It's like a path, it's changing all the time and it's giving me purpose and strength. It's like they keep me here.
Mm-hmm.
So it really changed me. I think the biggest change in my life came through the contact with animals and the nature in general. It changed me completely. It's something that gives sense. It says sense in English.
Sense, yes, yes, sense.
Yeah, it gives the gold of my life. I mean, because this is the most important thing for me, the
Mm-hmm.
nature and the animals, this connection. It's the only thing that makes sense in my life. It's the only
It's
real
your
thing.
life. It's your life.
I mean, it's the real thing for me,
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
and it gives you also a lot of um, I don't know how to say this in English, but it's something that it's always adding. It never takes out.
Out.
It adds.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I just lost my dog, my 13 years, 14 years cocker,
Mm-hmm.
and I was remembering, I mean, this animal, he never gave me a bad notice. Never. He just gave me good things my whole life. Now, Kathy, which human being do you know that only gives you good things?
Well, human
I,
beings give us lessons.
they give us, but I mean, it's a harder road.
Yes,
With
yes.
animals is so much joy. They are so pure. They connect you with this purity of soul, of life. And I consider, even though there are many difficulties and hard things in my path, I tell my students I feel very blessed and I would never change. I would never choose another work. I also love dance and music and yoga. Once I wanted to be a yoga teacher and I wanted to do a meditation school. But if I think now, I wouldn't change my work for any of those because I think it's the most blessed work. I feel very
Mhm,
blessed to be in
mhm.
the education for the interspecies communication. Really, really.
Oh, yes, yes,
Yeah,
beautiful, yeah.
I feel.
You
Yeah.
just said dance. Did were you dancing also when you were young?
Yes, when I was young, I wanted to be a dancer. I did ballet and modern dance too. And I'm very much into arts. I love the arts. But I wouldn't change.
Hmm.
I wouldn't, as
It's
a profession, I wouldn't
it
change.
it's very interesting because Penelope Smith, she was a dancer. She was dancing for many years also, and I was a dancer for 10
You,
years. I think
yes,
I think we use more the right side, no, the left, the right side of the brain, because the left is the logical and the right side is the
I just,
spiritual one. Yeah, is an up. And I think it has to do with the right side of the brain, and if
I
people
think,
have this more easiness into going to a spiritual right side of the brain thing.
I think too. I know there is another communicator in the United States. What's her name? And she was also dancing as a profession. So maybe it's a point in common with
Yes.
all of us. We are more connected to this side of the brain, more open, maybe. Yeah,
Mhm. Yes.
yeah.
Now, a left side of the brain question. Sunday
Now,
were the Brazilian elections.
oh,
And I made these questions like last week, so don't know if you had
yeah.
time to speak to the fauna and flora of Brazil as a group. But is there a message from the fauna and flora of Brazil to the new government is going to be elected in the 28th, but whoever comes out? Is there a wish, like I heard once Penelope Tyke talk to Mother Earth? Maybe have you ever tried to talk to the fauna and flora of Brazil as a message to the government and to the people, to the society of Brazil?
Yeah, I did this actually, but before the elections, much before, because in Brazil there is a lot of bad things happening to the fauna and flora. And I have talked to them. It's been the last message. It's been like more 9 months ago. And the situation, it doesn't. It's not really connected to the elections. It's a situation that has been coming
Mhm.
with the government in general
Mhm.
for like 14 years.
Mhm.
And we are always dealing with the laws, because the laws are not favoring the nature here in Brazil. So the message, I think, it's not for Brazil, it's universal. If we don't change our consciousness, and if the people who has to do their work in changing consciousness don't apply and don't put themselves to that, it's all in our hands.
Yes.
That's where their message. It's in your hands. But they don't have any blame, or they don't have, through me, they didn't have any message like save me, nothing like that.
Mhm.
They're very much open to our change, waiting for our change in consciousness. And there is indeed a lot of people doing works in the Senate and in the government to change, but they are not. They are being, how do you say? They are not getting to do their work because the money thing, to get production and to get exportation of products. This is so strong here in Brazil
Mhm.
that in the moment there is not so much hope in the moment, but
Oh,
things can, yeah,
there's always
things can.
hope. Hope there
There is,
is.
but in the moment with the elections, people are very frightened. So
Mhm.
my message, I just put a message. Just yesterday night, I put a message that we have to turn the attention inside ourselves
Mhm.
and try to do the best we can in this situation to bring light to the country,
Mhm.
facing the new perspective of a government that is not so nice.
Mhm. Mhm.
But the nature is very patient, even though it doesn't seem so. It's very patient. It's been waiting that we can change, and things are happening. It's just not in the news.
Mhm.
Good things are happening too. They're just not in the news. So the message of the nature world, all the beings, is that we are here for you, waiting and how do you say, sustaining you for your change of consciousness.
Oh, beautiful.
And actually, they are, because we are feeding ourselves with plants and seeds. We are breathing. We are always being supported by them in all senses you can imagine. All perspectives you can imagine. So they're really patient and loving with us. Yeah.
Beautiful. Oh, I have good news for you. It might be a bit of a hope for Brazil.
Uh,
In
yeah.
Europe now, last weeks, they started a movement from the Italian party Cinque Stelle, the member of parliament, and the British. A British member of parliament, also European Parliament, stop
Yeah.
the out of the cages, stop the cages.
Oh, really?
Very big. It's gonna last 1 year. They're gonna get
Wow.
together with all the European countries. They're gonna get 1 million signatures to forbid the cages, forbid farms with cages. I mean, animals in prison.
Any animal, because in Switzerland
Any,
it's been many years they forbid.
any animal, chickens, pigs. It's very big thing. Very big.
Oh,
It's
can you
just
send me
started.
this? Can you send me this
Sure,
news so I?
sure. I'll send you. So, oh my God, it's all over Facebook. Facebook is all over Facebook, and
And you also had this meeting with animal communicators in Greece.
no, not
Huh?
meeting. I do interviews with different animal communicators, but there was not a meeting with animal communicators.
Oh, I thought it was. Okay,
And
sorry.
Heidi said that she had Heidi Wright, what that I interviewed. She said, I have the feeling that's gonna be this person doing getting together. I mean, animal communicators getting together and getting a solution, illuminating people and everything. So that's why Heidi Wright, she gave me an interview, because
Oh,
I'm a bit what do you say? I'm not a professional interviewer, as you can see in my background. I'm not a professional interviewer. My system is very amateurish. And but many people, many animal communicators say, "Oh, okay, next time I do give you an
Uh,
interview." But AD said, "No, I think this is a very good idea. Let's do interviews with all the animal communicators different in the world." And I interviewed one in France, and you from Brazil, from America, interviewed so different. Tim Link, I interviewed Heidi Wright, who works in Japan.
wow,
So
wow, wow.
it's just to get to inform the people, because
Yeah.
as difficult as it sounds, Greece is much more behind information in this side than Brazil. I mean,
Oh,
I just gave my first class in animal communication. My teacher, I brought her once. There's another animal communicator here, but it's nothing. Holistic treatments for animals, there's in Athens, there's just 2 or 3 veterinarians that do
wow,
homeopathy. Um,
really?
Acupuncture, there's about 2 veterinarians that do acupuncture. Quantum healing is not known about. Reiki for animals, okay, there's many people that do Reiki and they give a Reiki for animals, but not veterinarians. They're
What about aromatherapy? Aromatherapy for animals.
no,
Essential oil.
no, no. Look, I did aromatherapy for people, but because animals don't like the smell or aroma, the essential oils in general, and some cats they are what's the name,
Allergic.
allergic to
They're,
some oils. So
yeah,
I prefer to treat, when I treat animals, I prefer with homeopathy, because I've seen it, it's amazing with cats, with dogs, with and healing is amazing also, whatever.
yeah,
And I personally, I don't use it with animals, and I don't think there's someone that uses here aromatherapy only for animals.
yeah. Okay, okay. But are you in Athens?
Yes, I'm in
What city?
Athens. Are you in São Paulo? No.
No, I am in the countryside of São Paulo state. It's
Mhm.
called Botucatu.
Ah, nice, nice.
Yeah, I live
And
in the
you were born in
countryside.
Botucatu?
No, I am from São Paulo
Ah,
city,
ah,
but I live in the countryside of the state.
ah, great,
Yeah,
great.
in a nature area, not in the city.
Ah.
It's good. But Kathy, we have to do something in Greece then. We have to do something to spread more the news. And what you're doing is great.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm
Yeah,
trying.
it's step by step. Yeah.
And not only any communication. I learned now what's the name, Tellington Touch, which is,
Oh,
I was introduced to Tellington Touch by Penelope. I'm reading Penelope's
yeah.
book, and
Me too. Too.
I
I
was
did it
formed.
too.
And Linda Tellington Jones is very holistic, and
Oh,
she's very
amazing.
very interested in science and spirituality, and she gave us a whole bunch of list of books to read. So it's just things.
Wow.
It's like you said. It keeps coming. It keeps coming. It never
Yeah.
take out. It keeps coming.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's good.
Yes, yes,
Good. Good
yes, yes.
news. Wow. You have done such amazing courses with such amazing people.
Yes, yes. I always try to tell. I didn't take. I sent a friend of mine to do a course with you, an Argentina friend of mine, but I think he could not come to Brazil at that time. And he's one of my clients. I never charge him, but he's one of my clients anyway. And I hope one day he can go, because he has a lot of connection to animals, and animals are, I think, the most important part in his life. And
Wow.
yeah, and I'm not gonna say his name, but he's a photographer for wildlife and everything. He's
I
amazing.
know he. No, he looked for me. I
Yes,
know.
yes, yes, he has to come. But I don't like to speak about people in camera, on camera and everything. But
Yeah. Okay.
yes, yes. He's
Okay.
amazing. Animals are so present in his work, and he does amazing photos of animals and
Oh,
great work in
see?
Argentina. So I hope when you
Yeah.
go to Argentina to teach, he will be present there.
Oh, please. I hope to. Yeah, these nature photographers, they are very much connected to the animals. They have to be. They have to be very silent. So they are one step ahead. If they come to a course, it's not going to be difficult for them.
No, no, no.
But Kathy, what I see on these last 2 years when I teach, what gets my attention is that it's really visible to the eye that people are very much more open. So people get to my courses, they are completely open and they get it very fast. They
Mhm.
are very intuitive these days, you know. So the planetary change, the open of consciousness, I can see it in my courses. it's
Great.
a it's very different from the beginning, because in the beginning people, they were doubting, they were very much in their minds,
Mhm. Mhm.
and now they are I get struck, I think, my God, these people, they are ready, they are ready,
Mhm.
you know.
I think it's
So
also thanks to the scientists, because quantum physics was not known. I mean, when I went to school in Brazil, we were still taught the classical physics, that the material things
yeah,
were their only reality. But now, because they speak more and more about quantum physics, people are saying, "Oh, it's possible."
it's possible, it's becoming real for people, so
Yes,
it's a big change, it's a big change on the way.
yes, yes.
Yeah,
And
very
Rupert
good.
Sheldrake, like you said, Rupert Sheldrake was a huge help.
It was
Huge.
something. Yeah, it was something really. And it gives us the basis. So when people doubt, you just say, here, there is this experiment, so
Exactly.
brilliant, you know. And it's part of my course. People have to read his book.
Ah,
So,
great, great, great.
yeah, there's a lot of books. There are many. And I also use, because I did her studies, Lynn Andrews. I don't know if you know her.
No, no, but it's good. Tell me about her.
Yeah, Lynn Andrews is an American woman. She was an artist, and she started learning with two Indians from Canada, female Indians.
Uh-huh.
And it was an oral tradition, nothing written. They were shamans.
Hmm.
And these two women, one was blind in the
Wow.
eyes.
Uh-huh.
They took her into a path where she became Lynn Andrews. She has published 17 books.
Wow.
School She has a school of this expansion of consciousness subject through the shamanic practices,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a unique world because it comes as a basis with two Indian females from Canada,
Mm-hmm.
which had an oral tradition, and Lynn was the first one who put down this into books.
Mm-hmm.
So my students, they have to read her books because I did her school. She
Oh.
graduated. Yeah, she graduated. I didn't do it with her. She graduated, a woman from France. So I did it in France.
Oh.
I yeah, I did it online for some part of the work. I did it at a distance, and I went to the meetings.
Mm-hmm.
There were four a year. I went to twice a year, the big meetings.
Oh.
Oops, sorry.
There goes the
That's
telephone.
I did it for 4 years. This
Mm-hmm.
study, but the where's the camera? I did it here. Okay. 4 years of study. It's not shamanism pure, but it's a tradition of knowledge from the women that are Indian in Canada. It's not pure shamanism, it's another thing.
American Canada or French Canada?
French Canada.
Oh my God! Did you
Mm,
see? There was a
yes,
movie on it. Did you see the movie?
Manitoba. No, they are from Manitoba.
I'm gonna send you this movie link
You
that I'm
have
trying to
to.
find. They made a movie, amazing movie that I'm trying to see, but because it's not commercial, nobody shows it.
It's. I'm trying to remember the name of the school, but I will. I can send you the books. It's all in English. I don't know. Oh my God, there he is.
My
How cute!
teacher.
Oh my God, I have some here too. So this school was very interesting. It was 4 years. It was very intense. We had to work a lot. There were many, many tasks and lessons and things to accomplish, to do, to write, experiences, art. We worked a lot with art and everything to become a better reader of the energy. So we became energy readers. It was
Fantastic.
fantastic. So after I finished with Sophie in France, I went to a meeting with Lynn in America.
Hmm.
So she has these gatherings. So I went to meet her, and I think I talked to her by Skype 1 or 2 times. And now I do her writing school. She has a writing school, writing.
Writing, you mean spiritual writing? To
Yeah, it's
receive.
writing. Yeah, not yeah, because the Indians told her to write, to put in the paper everything that was the knowledge. So she translated all this knowledge.
Hmm.
But she has a way that she can inspire people to have confidence to write. That's
Hmm.
through her that I wrote my book. Otherwise, I would.
I know what kind of creative writing,
Yeah,
like.
she has a book, it's called Writing Spirit. And now she has a school, it's called Writing Spirit
Wow,
School. So I did a
wow.
lot of her work, but in France, and this is also part of my work to teach with animals communication
Hmm.
because it's you know how it is, Kathy. It's not one thing. It's a
No.
whole life journey.
Yes,
Also,
yes.
I yes, the dancing work that you did all these years, it's part of your teaching, gives you
Yes,
flexibility,
yes,
you
yes.
grace, it's part,
Hmm.
it's not, nothing is separated. So
No. And
yeah.
everything is related.
And also Lynn taught me a lot about the power that the animals have to change our lives. So it's
Oh,
we
yes.
yeah, we use this power like clothes, clothes.
Hmm.
And I stopped being ashamed of the power. So because she teaches how to use the power for a greater benefit of humanity.
Oh,
So
great.
it's a beautiful thing what she teaches.
Hmm.
It's not a small thing. It's a big thing. This work.
I will look for her books. Lynn Andrews, huh?
Yeah, I'll give you the links and
Good, good, good.
if you look for her in Facebook or in internet, you find her
Oh,
website.
yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
yes.
will love it. And so her books are also part of my teaching. So people have to read books and do the exercise, and
Hmm.
so it's
Hmm.
part of the training,
Hmm.
so that people can become confident to do consultations.
Hmm.
That's my goal,
Hmm. Hmm.
because the people, I don't know how it is in Greece, but here in Brazil, the people who look for me for consultations, only animal communicators can help in what they need. Yeah, no behaviorists, no nothing, because there are certain issues for the relation between human and animals that only the animal communicators can help,
Oh,
really.
okay. Okay.
Specific issues,
Mm.
like when you lose an animal, when an animal is lost in
Lost,
nature,
lost, yes. Well, animals
when
are
you're,
never lost. I wrote an article. They're never lost. They know exactly
oh,
where they are. Only, of
yeah,
course, if you take your animal and you place it in a very far away place, it might get lost. But normally, when an animal leaves, he's not lost.
yeah, yeah,
He just
living,
left.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, but you can help humans with the communication because people don't. It's very difficult when you lose an animal. He runs out of your house and never comes back. So there are many
Yes.
stories and can help people with this. Now in Brazil, it's coming now another specialty that didn't exist before, is the humans who assist people when they lose an animal, when an animal dies. I don't know
Oh,
if you have this. Yes.
never heard of it. I think
Oh yeah.
Brazil might be the first country to have it.
No, it's Spain. It's there is a professional in Spain who gives
Really?
courses on I don't know how do you call this in English? Animal
In
when you
Spanish?
lose an animal. Now when you lose an animal, when the death process, how do you call this?
Um,
Luto. This is luto.
Lut, um, he's in. Oh, I forgot the name. I forgot.
So I'll send you the name of this woman. She's an animal communicator
Hmm.
and she has a specific course for people
In Brazil or in
in
Spanish, Spain.
Spain. In
Amazing.
Spain.
Hmm.
And also online. So she trains people to assist people who lose animals.
Oh, that's so needed. My God, that's so
Yeah,
needed because sometimes I say he's not coming back. I mean,
yeah.
there's nothing more that you can say. He's not coming back. What can I tell you?
We can support with the animal communication vision of the spiritual world. I
Yes.
always tell people, just to take the attention because people get very sad. So I tell people I know it's sad and you have to honor this because it's really sad to lose an animal or a plant or a mineral. But now that he's gone, just put your attention on all the good things that you lived with this
Yes,
animal.
yes, yes.
So to make a review of all the blessing, the big blessing that you had, like you had 4 years or 12 years or 8 years, you had this life with this animal full of good things. So if you put your attention on this, the pain gets better. It's
Yes,
soothing,
yes,
you
yes,
know, and you learn to be grateful, not to be in pain, and change your attention because this will help you also when you lose people, you know. It's a lesson to take for life, you know. Just be grateful for the time you had together
yes.
because death is guaranteed. We are all going to it's
If it's
guaranteed
definitely
for
guaranteed in life, is death.
God. If there is something that is guaranteed, but we don't prepare to that, you know. So anyway, there is this specialty in Brazil. One of my students now in Rio de Janeiro is already doing this.
Great,
It's
great.
yeah.
It's so
And
good.
one of the students who graduated with me last year, she's from Argentina and she's a psychologist from profession.
Oh,
She's also specializing in this. So,
amazing,
yeah, it's
beautiful.
amazing, beautiful. Yeah,
So
yeah,
Brazil has a lot of hope because Brazil is
yeah.
in
The
the
hope.
forefront.
Yeah, yeah. We just have to take these presidents out of the way, and then everything will be good.
No, this is material. This is just, I think it has to come to the people, like you said, and conscience has to come to the people, and people have to
Yeah,
open up. And
yeah.
when each one of us is open, it doesn't matter who rules us. We rule ourselves.
And you know something else, Kathy? I was invited to do this course in Rio in September.
Hmm.
So we were organizing for many months. And this guy, he's a veterinarian who invited me. He's an acupuncturist.
Oh,
There was a lot of violence in Rio in the news, a lot.
I know it.
And I told him, listen, do you really want me to go to Rio? Because I mean, it's so dangerous, you know. And his answer, I will never forget. He said, Sheila, I am just not connected to this.
Hmm.
I am connected to the good.
Hmm.
And he sleeps with the door opened. He doesn't lock his door in Rio de Janeiro.
Hmm.
So that was a lesson for me and for people also. What are you have a bad president or a bad government that you don't like it or is not good for nature. What are you going to connect with?
Hmm. Hmm.
Because what you connect with, what
You
you
give
put your attention,
energy. You give energy
then
to.
will grow. This will grow in your life, you know.
Yes,
That's so
yes.
simple. Like that, you know. It
Yeah,
doesn't matter the government material.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Wow, the interview got great.
Yeah, I was so happy. Thank you for the invitation. Now more people will know about Brazil, what's happening here.
Yes,
We have
yeah, it's
professional.
amazing.
Thank you.
We
It's a
have to
great
do
job.
one in Brazilian. We have to do one in Brazilian. Uh, now that I know more people know, so I can give it to you, and you can widespread in Brazil also. And I think more people in Brazil are speaking English now than in my time when I left.
No, many people. So this one, I want you to give me the link. I will go. I'm going to put
Sure.
in my yeah in my Instagram and Facebook. Yes, and but we'll do whenever you want. We will do one in Portuguese.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And thank you for
you.
your time.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you, Katie. It was no, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, and hope to see you in São Paulo one day.
Please come. Thank
Yes,
you.
yes,
Bye.
yes. Bye bye, Sheila.